Have you just moved in with your significant other, or just move in with somebody? You're barely getting yourself back up and you're just kind of like, is it too soon to help out with bills? Now I know on first instinct you're probably like, yeah, why is it even a question? You should pay. Let's start out with an informal greeting from me to you. What is happening? Hola, hello, how's it going? I hope that you're doing absolutely wonderful. I know I say that a lot, but I really genuinely do hope that you're doing wonderful. Man, the cold shrivels up my fingers. Does that do that to anybody else? Like, my fingers are so shriveled up. They're just shriveled. But nonetheless, I like the cold. And I know I say cold. Meanwhile, the polar vortex was happening. California was over here with sunshine. I get it, alright? I don't know what real cold is. But one day I will find out what real cold is. And I know it will be absolutely nothing compared to California's cold. But hey, what can I do? I live in California. This is the cold that I know, and that's probably not even cold, but it's cold to Californians. Anyway, I got this question on Instagram, and it says, so pretty much I work and my girlfriend works, but recently we had been discussing about how I can contribute to bills. I already clean and help take care of the dogs, but she does a lot for me, like take me to work and anything that I need. Do you think it's too soon to help out with bills? We have been together for 7 months, but living together for 3 months. Last month I helped her with a bill, but next month I do want to help her out with some. As I was reading that, I was just thinking about how narrating, how I sound like I'm narrating a story. Why was that so hard for me to like spit out? I don't know. I definitely don't think it's too soon. I think it's actually perfect. I think it's really nice that you have the intent and the initiative to want to help. I think it was really nice, really kind of your fiance. When you can't pay, or you can't pay a lot, or you don't have money to chip in, or whatever it can be, I think it's nice to have that trade-off of like, hey, you go to work. I'm going to be thankful and I'm going to show you that I appreciate this and thank you for giving me a roof over my head. In exchange of that, I'm going to clean and I'm going to cook, or I'm going to do whatever the things, the trade-off is, you know, that you can or want to do. I think that's a good idea, especially if you cannot contribute just right now, but plan to. That way your fiance doesn't come home to a dirty house, a messy house. So I totally see where you're coming from. You're taking care of the dogs, you know, you're taking that side of the responsibility so that it balances everything out, and I think that's really smart. I know some people will be like, well, that's common sense. Even if it is common sense, there's a lot of people out there that don't even care to do that. There's a lot of people that don't do it. There's a lot of people that they're just like comfortable living like that, and they don't care, they don't think about these things. Claps to you. I'm glad that you have taken that initiative upon yourself to do that, to hold up your side of the blanket. I don't know if that's even, I thought that just sounded cool, like, you know, hold up your side of the blanket. You know, and it's good that you guys communicate, because that's one thing that I always talk about, the one thing that I have observed over and over again, and I have witnessed and I have known and I have seen and proven to be true, that communicating is essential. It's such a huge part of any kind of relationship, a friendship, a family-ship, a relationship, co-workership, employership, bossship, any kind of relationship. Communication is key, because how do you expect the other person to know your wants and desires or how you're feeling if you don't speak up about it, if you don't talk about it? How do you expect them to know, and how do you expect them to make changes if they have no freaking clue what's going on? So I think that is also very smart that you guys took the time to communicate, because not only does it have the potential to positively grow your relationship in that aspect, but it's always good to just take the other person into consideration, their thoughts, their wants, and vice versa. And I think that's very, very smart. It's such a huge factor in a relationship. Communication, I think, is one of the most important pillars in a relationship, no matter the type or kind of relationship. You guys know, living together is such a big step for a relationship, especially an intimate relationship, you know what I mean? It's like my mom says, nunca realmente conoces a una persona hasta que vives con ella. Pretty much says, like, or you really learn about a person when you move in with them. So it's a huge step forward, and there's a lot of boundaries and a lot of responsibilities and just roles that go into it, and that doesn't necessarily have to be like, okay, well, since you don't work, you have to cook. It could always be a trade-off. Maybe we can write something down, like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday while I'm at work, you could cook, and then the other 3 days, then I will cook when you're at work. Maybe we can trade turns, and I'll cook today, you cook tomorrow. I'll cook today and tomorrow, you could cook, you know what I mean? So there's always that connection, that communication that both of you guys are taking into consideration and are talking about. There's those options, and that's why the communication is so important, because you guys setting these things on a table, talking about it, getting each other's feedback, their wants and your wants, and mixing them together and coming to where you two compromise and are content with stuff. I think that is very, very important. So long as it's making you both happy. Obviously, then, you know, it goes sour when it's like, now you're just doing this to please them because you know that's what they want and you don't want to upset them. And you know what I mean? That's when it's just like, I think you're doing really well. If it's working for both of you, that's what matters. If your girlfriend appreciates that you clean and that you do this, you take care of the dogs, you do all this other stuff, and the relationship is happy and it's doing well, then that's good. In the event that you can't pay. Now that you mentioned that you are wanting to help out and stuff like that, I think it's really cool that you took the time to show your gratitude and be thankful. And like I said, hold your side up of the blanket. I don't know why it sounds kind of dumb, but like, whatever. Anyway, that's wrong with it. You're helping. Now, if you can honestly be able to put up that side of the money or be able to help out with bills, I think it's a good idea. I think it's an amazing idea because that's also a big part of a lot of relationships. Now, I know there are a lot of relationships out there that are like one person will pay everything because they want to. They don't want the other person to work. It's what every relationship cares about, finds to be important, and wants between the two of them. It's not between anybody else except for the two of you. If your girlfriend comes home one day and is like, you know what, baby, I don't ever want you to work again. I'm gonna pay all your bills, baby girl. I'm gonna pay all the bills. You ain't gotta worry. You ain't gotta lift a finger. You just keep being sexy as hell. I'm gonna do all the work. And at one point, maybe that can change. I think it's just important that both of you, again, for the 15 millionth time, communicate and really talk about what's important and how each other's feels and what would help one another out. Yeah, I think I like talking about this because it's just like, for a lot of us, it's like, it's common sense. But yeah, it's common sense, but then when you break it down, it makes even more sense. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I like sense, making sense. I like making sense, and I like making sense, like sense. I think it's fair. I think whatever is fair for the both of you, whatever you both and only you both feel is fair in your relationship, I think that is what's important. If you guys find that happy medium where she's paying the majority of things and you're just paying 2 bills or 1 bill or whatever you are able to afford, then that's the happy medium. If that makes you two happy and it doesn't cause any fights or anything like that, then perfect. You guys have found the happy medium. I think that is the moral of the story, is whatever works for both of you, where you two are content and you have that happy medium and you have that happiness not causing any problems, perfect. I think that's all that could be asked. I think that's the goal. Or maybe you can do a trade-off where you're able to pay something this month. It's just all about finding what's gonna work. When you break it down, it really is. It doesn't matter if I were to think that that's messed up and you should always be paying. It doesn't matter if I were to think, oh no, you know, that's perfect, like you shouldn't have to pay anything. It doesn't matter what I think or your parents think or the next person thinks or your best friend thinks or anybody else watching this video thinks. It matters what you guys think and how you guys feel and how your relationship is as a whole, and if it will affect your relationship or not, or if this would be better or not. Communication, communication, communication. Say it with me, everybody. Communication. I personally appreciate the whole like splitting things half and half or whatever it can be when it is able to be done. Again, life is tough and sometimes shit happens and it makes things hard, but there's always ways to show that person that you appreciate. There's always ways to help out and make up for it. There's always ways to say thank you. Like a long time, this is so random, but like a long time ago, I remember when I was back in film school, a lot of my peers in my class were like, yeah, we were couch surfing. And I was like, couch surfing? Couch surf? Like what? Like you got a surfboard and you were surfing on the couch? Like, how does that work? He explained it to me and he said, no, it's basically like this app. I don't know if it still exists. Probably, I don't know. But it was basically this app where you would go on, or app or website, I don't remember. It was years ago. You look for people that are offering their couch, so their couch or your bed or a room or whatever. So you go and like you stay a couple nights or one night or however long you may need in exchange for whatever it is that they pick or they say, you know, like wash the dishes, cook, clean, whatever it could be. So it's like a payback without money. That's how he ended up making it to LA to get to film school and spending his first couple of weeks trying to settle down in LA when we were going to school. So I was like, well, that's actually really freaking cool. Slowly but surely I started learning about a lot of other my friends that were doing that or that had done that, and I think that was a really nice trade-off. You know, it's a pretty neat trade-off. So again, find what you can trade off in a moment where you can only offer that, you know what I mean? And I think that's important because it'll show through your actions. Like I love that one phrase that is so powerful, actions speak louder than words, as we know it to be true. So through your actions, you can show your gratitude, your thankfulness, your appreciation, and all that good stuff. And you can also show the opposite through your actions, because actions are very important. And if your words and your actions are not lining up, well, then you probably need to rethink that. There's something definitely going on there. So I just want to say thank you so much for asking this question. I wish you both the absolute best and enjoy each other's company and enjoy being together and living together. And I really do hope that everything works out for the best. I know it will, because I can see that you two have this communication and we'll find a way no matter what. So I hope that I answered this question and I helped you watching, whether it was this topic or just entertaining you or just giving you something to watch while you eat or something. Or maybe lull you to sleep. If you are tired and you're trying to fall asleep, maybe this little part right here, ease you into a deep sleep where you achieve REM sleep fast and wake up in the morning feeling re-energized and, what's the other word? Revitalized. I don't know if that was a word I wanted to say. The sound in here sucks because I don't have a great, amazing microphone yet. One day I will, and I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, so Besides that, thank you again. If you have any questions, please head on over to my Instagram or any of my social medias that are listed for you on the screen. If you know anybody who could really truly benefit from this video, please don't hesitate to share it, to send it their way, to send them a link, to regurgitate what I just said to them. You just never know who you could be helping. Please and thank you if you do, and thank you for watching this video. I hope that you're having a great day, night, middle of the day. Yeah, you know, any time of day, wherever time of day it is where you are at, and I will see you in the next video. And remember, if there's one thing that I want to call to mind, there are actually 3, no matter the highs and lows. Always be sure, always be certain to do good, be grateful, and stay humble.